shit!
Look at that!
Oh my
God! Shit, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Oh my god!
That's a fighter jet.
What the hell?
Dude, they're shooting.
We're all excited. Jay will be like all fucking crazy.
No, dude, they're fucking shooting, dude.
Are they? Look at that. It's like
Boom, 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 they are.
Boom.
Oh my god, this is like, oh my god. That's
You see that shit, D?
crazy. Oh my god. We didn't even get it on video.
Look up there. Look up at the top. Look. Boom, above the tree.
And then
Right there by the
oh,
tree.
Look, there's one right there too. Let's go to the front. I think we can go to the front.
Fucking jet.
Oh wait, are you guys sure it's not just a firework or something?
Oh my god.
No!
Joe,
What the fuck?
what the fuck is that?
Oh,
Joe,
God.
we see it.
No, that's...
Joe, we
Let's drive over there, let's go.
Joe, we see one.
Yeah, it's coming towards us.
Holy fuck, what is that? We literally see like we see one. Where is we see one? Oh my god. Oh my god, look. Oh my god. There's more. Wait, there's another one.
two.
Is this the Phoenix
Oh my
Lights
God.
again? Oh my god.
Holy fuck, Joe, we see
Where
it.
is
Did
Joe?
you see that?
Right now?
Where's Joe at? Oh my god. There's three of them. Holy fuck. Record. Record. No.
They're moving.
No.
Four.
No, Joe.
Four.
Fucking
That
Phoenix
might just
Lights again.
That's an airplane up there. Those are not airplanes, but that is.
What the
Whoa.
fuck? No, is it the Phoenix Lights again?
Oh my god. It's on the ground. It's on the ground. There,
It's
it's
an airplane
Joe.
though.
Joe. It's on the fucking ground right now.
Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, before I begin with this lesson, I want to start it off by giving all the glory and infinite praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKadosh. Double honor to the elders and the apostles who at Millstone. Peace and blessings be to the Akim, now pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom, Yahweh Shem, Al-Shai, Brakathon. So I don't really know what exactly I'm entitled this lesson, but as y'all saw in those, few little clips that I just played, it basically tell you everything that you need to know, based on how the people are gonna react, when Yahweh Shai make that return, right? Because you got folks bugging out and losing it, based on the chariots appearing as a form of light, right? And which is when the Lord come back, he coming with the chariots, with the angels, and they gonna come in a fashion that 95% of the people in the world does not expect them to come back in. You know what I mean? Because if you ask a Christian how the Lord gonna come back, 9 times out of 10 they gonna tell you, that we know where the scripture says he's gonna come back in a cloud, with a lamb on his side. You know what I'm saying? When that ain't how the Lord gonna come back, right? The Lord's gonna come back in what you call, so-called UFOs. Alright, believe it or not. Right, and most people, they not gonna believe it, but that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's gonna be the fulfillment of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. They thinking that we reaching. You know what I mean? But this is how the Lord is gonna come back. He gonna appear in a form and a fashion that you people just not ready for. Right? Because if you bugging out over lights popping up in the sky, you know what I'm saying, chariots just flashing and stuff like that, how much more when you seeing them in they actual, they shape, spinning with a glowing ring around them. You know what I mean? You start seeing them zapping shit on fire. You know what I'm saying? You people, you gonna be losing it. And that's why it speaks about how men's heart shall fail them. You're gonna have people that's, that be so scared, that they can't even move. You know what I'm saying? Like how they show you in certain movies. People get so damn scared that they just stuck, they just too much in shock. That's gonna be a lot of y'all case. You know what I'm saying? Then a lot of y'all gonna be having little heart attacks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the scripture also speaks about how that day is gonna be a great distress, man. Right, and as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up that scripture real quick. Let's go to the book of Zephaniah, the 1st chapter, and I'm gonna start at 7. All right, and it's been a little minute since I actually touched on this topic. you know, which is good to get into this because shit, you know, all the signs are here that Yahweh Shah gonna come back, man. You know what I'm saying? As I've been saying for a little minute, shit, prophecy booming. You know what I mean? This definitely the year of Yahweh Shah turning shit up. You know what I mean? And it's just a matter of time until, you know what I'm saying, you know, the big bro pop up in the sky. Shit, any day now. You know what I mean? One of these major Bible prophecies can be fulfilled. You know what I mean? Ultimately, you know, that Karagma, you know, in the World War III and shit, we seeing the Lord coming with the host of heaven, man. All right? That's how close we are. All right, but this is Zephaniah 1:7 that says, "Hold thy peace at the presence of the Lord Yahweh, for the day of the Lord is at hand. For the Lord hath prepared a sacrifice, he had bid his guests." And what is that sacrifice going to be? You know what I mean? It's going to be a whole lot of death when Yahweh Shah come back, man. You know, most people think of, you know, everybody got their whole idea of how the Lord going to come back, but none of this shit is accurate. You know what I'm saying? People thinking that the Lord's going to come back, you know, floating off a cloud, levitating and shit. You know, the angels are going to come down, you know, with wings, with white robes, and, you know, waking people up out of the graves and being nice. That ain't how the Lord going to come back. You know, Habakkuk, the 3rd chapter, you know, Lord willing, I can get into it. That's a heavy chapter. Shit, Habakkuk said that, you know, his stomach, you know what I mean? He was basically feeling sick. He said his bones was rotting based off this vision that he saw of Yahweh Shah coming back. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how heavy that day going to be. All right, verse 8. This is what that sacrifice going to be. "And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children." Like, you know, these people that's actually, you know, running this system, running the world, they gonna get it too. All right, really, you know what I'm saying, getting, you know what I'm saying, in the slavery, because they gonna be preserved, because they gonna be the first batch of slaves. But even the people that's deemed to be so-called high in the society, they all gonna die here. The Lord is not a respected person. The Lord don't give a fuck about how much money you got. None of that. When the Lord come back, he all about ending shit and delivering his elect. All right? It says, "And all such as are clothed with strange apparel." Right? You jakes that's into different philosophies and shit. You know what I mean? Because philosophies and ideologies, so to speak, really philosophies, they're likened unto, you know, clothing, garments, whatever. You know what I mean? You into all these different, you know, you got Jay talking about the Anunnaki and shit. You know, those, you know, they call the chairs the Anunnaki. Nigga, that's not what that is, man. All right? Trying to be too damn deep, trying to be extra and shit. All right? But it says in verse 9, "In the same day also will I punish all those that leap on the threshold, which fill their master's houses with violence and deceit." All right, and let's get to the point that I wanted to get into in verse 14. It says, "The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasted greatly." All right, like I said, at any given moment, Yahweh Shah can pop up. All the Lord got to do is, you know what I'm saying, put it in the inward parts of Esau to, you know, bring these prophecies to pass. And shit, Yahweh Shah on his way. All right, it hasted greatly, man. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty men shall cry there bitterly. All right, that day is a day of great wrath. It's like a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Right, clouds and thick darkness, because those things are symbolic for, you know, mourning. You know what I'm saying? When you watch these different post-apocalyptic movies, you know what I'm saying, you know, how does the skies look in these movies? It's all cloudy and shit, it's rainy. You know what I'm saying? Because that puts or that paints basically, you know what I'm saying, a sorrowful vibration to it. And when the Lord come back, he gonna shake shit up, man. All right, those that really don't know, those that's not a part of the elect, this is what you're gonna be experiencing. This is the vibration that you're gonna be under. Because us in the know, you know what I'm saying, the hopeful elect, hey, shit, the Lord said, hey, that we gonna love his appearing. Shit, I can't wait to see Yahweh Shah come back. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna be screaming at the top of my motherfucking lungs when the Lord come back. You know, call out Yahweh Shah, I don't want to Zah. You know what I'm saying? That spirit is on me. But when these people see the Lord come back, you know, people gonna be losing it. Just like how they show you in what's that damn movie called? The War of the Worlds. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? People was losing it when they saw them, so-called UFOs raising up out of the ground and was sparking shit. So how much more in reality? Because that's just a movie, man. Right? When something is in reality, it's 10 times worse. All right? It says that day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I'm gonna, stop right there. Right? But in verse 15, it speaks about distress. Right? That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress. All right? And we're gonna look up that word distress real quick. All right. This is the definition for the word distress. It says extreme anxiety, sorrow, or pain. Right? Extreme anxiety. Anxiety basically goes into, you panicking and shit. You know what I mean? You unstable. And when you go back and watch those clips that I just played before I started this lesson, that was a form of anxiety. People just out there just don't know what the hell going on. You know what I mean? And it just shows you the different spirit from, the hopeful member of the elect and somebody in the world. Because when we see the chairs pop up, hey, we rejoice. You know what I'm saying? Like when me and the brother was at camp, said the brother that saw a green chariot. You know what I mean? I didn't, because I was, in the spirit, just focusing on bringing up the lesson. But, bro, he saw it, and shit, he got hype. But if anybody else would have saw, a light just appear up in the sky, you see other ones, popping up below it, they start merging together, they'll start freaking the fuck out. Thinking that it's aliens, people, green little dudes trying to hop off a ship with a ray gun, they start, this is what they think. You know what I mean? You got motherfuckers, concerned with this whole CERN thing. They thinking that, Esau trying to, basically prepare the heavens, a portal to allow, different beings from another planet to, have easier access to the earth. You know what I mean? Just don't know what the hell going on. All right? But getting back to that point, extreme anxiety, sorrow, or pain. All right? And you see in those clips, that was a form of anxiety. So how much more when the Lord really pop up? You know what I mean? People going back here probably trying to off themselves because they're not going to know what the hell going on. All right? And then you're going to see that, the Lord is going to bring wrath, man. Like I said, Lord wasn't not get to Habakkuk the 3rd chapter, but that whole chapter gets into, that anger that the Lord is going to come back with. Shit, the scripture even speaks about how the Lord, when he comes back, he's going to be like screaming like a travailing woman. You know what I mean? Meaning he going to let out a loud-ass war cry, man. You know what I'm saying? Then just think about, the vibration the earth is going to be under whenever the Lord just enter into this dimension, man. The earth might just start shaking and shit. You may hear a loud ass screeching noise or something. You know what I mean? Because that's a type of power that the earth ain't never witnessed before, man. All right? A big ass, just ring-shaped chariot, hovering over the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Bigger than earth. You know what I mean? That's going to be something that, the average person that don't got the, the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai is not going to be able to handle, man. All right? That's why it speaks about how that day is going to be talked about. Hey, a lot more than what the Exodus was the first time, man. This day is going to exceed that. All right? So now let's get into the book of Amos 5 real quick. Because going back to that point that I was making, you got all types of Christians talking about, they can't wait for, Jesus to come back and all that. When the Lord come back, he not coming back for, the betterment of most of you people. Anybody outside the nation of Israel and don't got the edge about them, you not going to make it. All right, point blank, period. All right, Amos 5:18, it says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. People talking about, they can't wait for Jesus to come back and all that. Hey, the Lord said, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Why? Because you wicked as hell, man. You know what I'm saying? You doing what you thinking is right when it ain't. You know what I mean? Eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster still. And you people that don't think you're going to get judged for that shit, read Isaiah 66 and 17. The Lord said who he going to put to death when he come back. You know what I mean? Anybody that's eating abominations and stuff like that, the Lord said he going to smite your ass, man. And that's in the scriptures. But it says, to what end is it for you? Right? What good is it going to do you? Here it is, you wicked as hell, and you talking about you can't wait for Jesus to come back. Man, the Lord going to hit your ass with a thunderbolt. coming straight from the mouth of a chariot. It says the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. All right? Because that day is going to be full of, you know what I'm saying, great distress, man. And as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and get into Habakkuk, the 3rd chapter, real quick. All right, Habakkuk 3, and I'm going to start at 1. You know, I'll probably read the whole chapter, you know, just see where the Spirit take me. It says, verse 1, a prayer of Habakkuk, the prophet upon Shigionoth. Oh, Lord, I have heard that speech and was afraid. You know what I mean? Because I remember when I first came into the truth, I had my own idea of how the Lord was going to come back, you know, whatever. But when I found out what he going to do when he come back and how he going to come back, that shit put fear in me. You know what I'm saying? So much to the point where I thought I wasn't even going to make it. You know what I mean? I heard about how, you know, you can be put to death, you know what I'm saying, for, you know, doing abominations, which is we all have, adultery, you know, whatever it is. You know what I mean? And me being ignorant, because I ain't never read the Bible in my life. When I first read it, I was like, damn, like, shit, that mean I ain't gonna, so when the Lord come back, I'm gonna get put to death? I remember that shit had me, like, not even wanting to wake up. You know what I mean? Because that's that heavy fear of Yahweh Shema Shah that I had and still do have. All right? But it says, oh, Lord, revive that work in the midst of the years, and the midst of the years make known, and wrath remember mercy. And that's what it's going to take when the Lord comes back, man. The Lord's going to have to remember mercy when he comes back, because the Lord is about ending shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You see all these abominations going on. You don't think that the Lord is mad about this shit, man? When the Lord come back, he going to show you better than he can tell you. The Lord been telling you in the form of his prophets for a hot minute. But soon it's going to be straight actions, man. All right? It says Yahweh came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Salah. His glory covered the heavens, right? Talking about those chariots. Because the chariots, they majestic, man. You know what I mean? They gold, you know, the color of a beryl, you know, probably silver, metallic, you know, with different precious stones around them. You know what I mean? Shit, Yahweh Shema Shah is far out. All right, it says, and the earth was full of his praise, and his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, right? Talking about power, man. Right, and there was the hiding of his power. Before him went the pestilence, right? And burning coals went forth at his feet, right? Talking about those laser beams from the chariots. That's going to be, you know what I'm saying, emitted from the bottom of the chariots. All right, the mouth of the chariot, you know, whatever you want to call it. He stood and measured the earth, because that's how big that chariot is going to be. Yahweh Shah's chariot alone is going to be the size of, if not bigger. That's why it says he stood and measured the earth. In other words, he's sizing up the earth. You know, Jake talking about they, you know, sizing niggas up. That's basically what the Lord is going to do when he come back. He beheld and drove asunder the nations, and the everlasting mountains were scattered. The perpetual hills did bow. His ways are everlasting. I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble, right? Because you're going to have these other nations, they going to get it too. It ain't just going to be Esau. It's going to be Ham, Ishmael. They all going to get it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the scripture speaks about, you know, that war in heaven. You have all these nations rising up to fight Yahweh Shah. That's why you had that one Edomite. You know, I don't know dude's name, but dude was talking about how, you know, if there's a, you know, an invasion, you know what I'm saying, from different beings, we all need to drop our, you know, put aside our differences and come together to fight against it. This is what Esau thinks. This is what these other nations think. But little do they know, niggas are going to lose miserably. One chariot alone can wipe out the whole earth. But the Lord coming back with millions of chariots, man. All right, to put in work and to deliver the elect. It says, was the Lord displeased with the rivers, against the rivers, Salaki? Was thine anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea, that thou didst ride upon thine horses and thy chariots of salvation? You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, when the Lord come back, he going to shake shit up. Literally, he going to shake shit up. That's why I have asked, like, damn, Lord, you know what I'm saying, was you mad at the rivers? You know what I'm saying? What the rivers do to you? You know what I'm saying? You mad at the sea? Like the sea ain't do nothing to you? All right, because when the Lord come back, the Lord is going to, hey, man, the Lord is going to cause a lot of destruction. All right? That's why that fear, you know what I'm saying, that all nations had, you know what I'm saying, the Yahweh Shema Shah, you know, going back to the time of Exodus, that the Lord's going to put that same fear in the earth in this time now, but a lot more, man. Right? It says that bow was made quite naked. according to the oaths of the tribes, even that word Salah, thou didst cleave the earth with rivers. The mountains saw thee, and they trembled. The oath was fallen of the water passed by. The deep uttered his voice and lifted up his hands on high. The sun and moon stood still in their habitation. At the light of thine arrows they went, and at the shining of thy glittering spear. Thou didst march through the land in indignation. You know what I'm saying? You know how Jake talking about they walking through shit? You know what I mean? They talking about how they stepping on shit. Nigga, that's basically what the Lord's gonna do. Not literally, but the Lord's gonna come and they just destroy shit. That's the best way that I can put it. The Lord is gonna march through this shit in his anger. Alright? He gonna step on everything. Because this shit has to be reset. It says, thou didst thrust the heathen in anger, that wentest forth for the salvation of thy people, because those are the two things that the Lord is gonna do when he come back. He gonna put an end to a lot of stuff. Then he also gonna deliver his elect. Right? It says, even for salvation with thine anointed, thou woundest the head of the house of the wicked, which is who? Esau. Because when the Lord come back, it says how he's gonna have many crowns upon his head. Because the Lord's gonna come, you know what I'm saying, to take out those that are currently in rulership. Because in order for Yahweh Shai to set up his kingdom, what he got to do? He got to take out those that's currently in rulership. You can't have two kings ruling at one time, man. One of them got to go. And, hey, fortunately, call Yahweh Shema Shai, it's going to be this white boy, man. Right? It says, by discovering the foundation unto the next Salah, that did strike through with his staves the head of his villages. They came out as a whirlwind to scatter me. The rejoicing was as to devour the poor secretly. Right? Because that's what Esau plans to do. You know what I mean? He gonna come down with that great wrath on, you know what I'm saying, you know, the nation of Israel. You know, because he know that, hey, as brothers say, shit, we got next. Esau, hey, this white boy, he know that. Why you think he gonna try to, hey, exterminate us? You know what I mean? But he not gonna be able to. It says, cause, hey, the Lord said he has to shorten the days, right? So as soon as this man get to eating, as it talks about in the book of Job, he start eating, he about to fill his belly. Because right now they preparing the table. You know what I'm saying? They got the, you know, the ham and shit, figuratively, damn, I can't even talk. Figuratively speaking, when it, pertaining to the New World Order. They got the ham and shit, they getting the dishes ready, the plates, they got the little, the sheet on the table. They getting it all prepared so they can start eating. All right? But once they start eating, they start to establish that New World Order, then that's when the Lord's going to come back and shake this man up. All right? It says, Slakia. Damn, I forgot where I was. All right, we can just jump to verse 16. It says, when I heard, my belly trembled. My lips quivered at the voice. Rottenness entered into my bones. And I trembled in myself, that I might rest in a day of trouble. When he cometh up unto the people, he will invade them with his truth. Because it's going to be a literal invasion when Yahweh Shai comes back, man. All right, you're going to see the sky full of, quote-unquote, UFOs, man. And Habakkuk, this is what he's seeing in the vision, man. And he said he was so scared that his belly trembled. You know what I mean? He probably felt like he had a doo-doo on himself. I mean, he couldn't even talk right. He's like... It's like, but I'm just trying to paint an image. You know what I mean? Probably felt like he was gonna give up the ghost. You know what I mean? Because these visions that the prophets were seeing, they was heavy to the point where, they'll wake up sick, throwing up. All right? It says, verse 17, although the fig tree, matter of fact, that's pretty much the point of this lesson, Just wanted to, do this real quick because it's been a little minute since I, touched on this topic. But, Adam Ratazal, this lesson was edifying that the point was proven. All right, call Lord Yahweh Shema Shabbat Shema Kakadas. Shalom and the Baba.